आज का हमारा विषय है मेजरमेंट ऑफ कोहेरेंट स्कैटरिंग। इससे पहले वाले टॉपिक में हमने देखा था कि किस तरह जब प्रोटॉन सोर्स पर न्यूट्रॉन बीम का बम्बार्डमेंट होता है तो ये संभावना हो सकती है कि जो स्कैटरिंग है उसमें कोहेरेंसी मिले, अर्थात स्कैटरिंग के बाद इंटरफेरेंस इफ़ेक्ट हमें देखने को मिले, यानी कि जो स्कैटरिंग है वो आइसोट्रोपिक ना हो। अब हम देखेंगे कि यदि हम टारगेट के रूप में ऑर्थो या पैरा हाइड्रोजन लें या दोनों का एक कॉम्बिनेशन लें तो उस स्थिति में स्कैटरिंग किस तरह की होगी। हम जानते हैं कि ऑर्थो हाइड्रोजन में जो दो प्रोटॉन हैं हाइड्रोजन के, वो उनकी जो स्पिन है वो पैरेलल होती है, और पैरा हाइड्रोजन में दो प्रोटॉन्स की स्पिन एंटी पैरेलल होती है। इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि जब न्यूट्रॉन बीम ऑर्थो हाइड्रोजन के टारगेट पर टकराएगी तो उस स्थिति में जो स्कैटरिंग होगी न्यूट्रॉन और प्रोटॉन के बीच, वो या तो सिंगलेट स्टेट में होगी पूरी या ट्रिपलेट स्टेट में होगी। उसी तरह अगर न्यूट्रॉन बीम पैरा हाइड्रोजन से टकराती है, पैरा हाइड्रोजन के सोर्स से टकराती है, तो उस स्थिति में 50% जो स्कैटरिंग है न्यूट्रॉन्स की वो ट्रिपलेट स्टेट में होगी और रिमेनिंग 50% सिंगलेट स्टेट में होगी। लेकिन यदि हम दोनों का कॉम्बिनेशन लें तो उस स्थिति में क्या होगा। ऐसी स्थिति में जो स्कैटरिंग है, स्कैटरिंग क्रॉस सेक्शन है, उसका रिलेशन हम निकालने की कोशिश करेंगे। जैसा हम जानते हैं कि स्कैटरिंग के केस में जहाँ इंटरफेरेंस इफ़ेक्ट हम देखना चाहते हैं तो ये ज़रूरी है कि जो न्यूट्रॉन बीम है उसमें जो न्यूट्रॉन की वेवलेंथ है वो वेवलेंथ दो प्रोटॉनों के बीच का, यानी दो इंटर एटमिक डिस्टेंस है, उससे ज़्यादा होनी चाहिए। The internuclear distance in hydrogen molecule is about 10 raised to power minus 8 centimeter. Coherent scattering, in which the amplitudes instead of the intensities add may be obtained from the pair of protons in the hydrogen molecule, provided that the de Broglie wavelength of the neutrons is much greater than the internuclear distance. Neutron velocity selector techniques can be used to conduct scattering experiments with cold neutrons in the energy domain of about 0.0008 electron volt, that is at about 10 degree Kelvin, to 0.0025 electron volt, that is about at 30 degree Kelvin. In the para-hydrogen molecule, the nuclear spins of the two protons are antiparallel. Then an incident unpolarized neutron can have a triplet collision with one of the proton and a singlet collision with the other proton. The actual interference effects can be determined by using the Pauli spin operators of the neutron and proton. Now we shall derive an expression for the scattering cross-section for a scattering from a molecule of ortho or para-hydrogen when the incident neutron energy is so small that 1 upon k is nearly equal to lambda n, lambda cross n for neutron, is much greater than the distance between the atoms in the hydrogen molecule, that is about 0.75 angstrom, which corresponds to 20 degree Kelvin. We know that total spin of the NP system can be written as vector S is equal to vector Sn plus vector Sp, where we know that Sn denotes spin of neutron and Sp denotes the spin of proton. And in operator form, we can write Sn is equal to half sigma n, vector sigma n, and Sp is equal to half vector sigma p. Here sigma n and sigma p are the Pauli's spin matrices. Since Sn and Sp are independent, they will commute. We therefore can write modulus of vector S square is equal to modulus of vector Sn square plus modulus of vector Sp square plus 2 vector Sn dot Sp. This is equation number 1. Now the eigenvalues of the operator vector S square are S into S plus 1, but S equal to 0 for the singlet state as we know, and S equal to 1 for the triplet state. S equal to 1 means the combined spin of a neutron and a proton, that is half plus half, will become 1. Similarly, modulus of Sn vector Sn square may be written as equal to modulus of vector Sp square, and this will be equal to half into 1 plus half, and this will be equal to 3 by 4. Now from equation 1, using these values, we can obtain Sn dot Sp is equal to half modulus of S square minus 3 by 4. And since modulus of S square is basically S into S plus 1, and therefore the total value of it will be minus 3 by 4 for the singlet state, means for S equal to 0, and 1 by 4 for the triplet state, means for S equal to 1. Now we can define two projection operators which have the following properties. These operators can be written as Pt nearly equal to 3 by 4 plus Sn vector Sn dot Sp, and this will be equal to 0 for the singlet state, as I am showing here. For singlet state, spins of neutron and proton are antiparallel, and for triplet state these are parallel. For Ps, it will be written as 1 by 4 minus Sn dot Sp, and this will be equal to 1 for singlet state and 0 for triplet state. Now putting the values of Sn dot Sp in these two equations, we can determine scattering length. If A1 and A2 are the two scattering lengths for scattering of neutron by proton number 1 and 2 of the hydrogen molecule, then from equation 3 we can obtain for proton number 1, A1 is equal to As multiplied by 1 by 4 minus Sn dot Sp1, Sp1 for proton number 1, plus At multiplied by 3 by 4 plus Sn dot Sp1. Here As and At are singlet and triplet neutron-proton scattering lengths. A corresponding relation can be written for proton number 2. If the separation distance between the two protons is less than the neutron wavelength, then the scattering length A for the scattering by both protons can be written as A is equal to A1 plus A2, and by putting the values of A1 and A2, we can write the expression will be given by equation 5. Now for para-hydrogen, the spins are antiparallel in the molecule, and therefore vector sp1 plus vector sp2 will be equal to 0. Now using this value in equation 5, we will get sigma sc, and sigma sc is equal to 4 pi a square. The scattering cross section per para-hydrogen molecule can be written as now sigma for para per molecule equal to 4 pi, and by putting the value of a square, it will be multiplied by 3at plus as upon 2 whole square. This is equation number 6. Now for orthohydrogen, the spins are parallel. So the total spin of the hydrogen molecule is can be written as sh is equal to sp1 plus sp2. This gives us sigma ortho per molecule equal to 4 pi modulus of as plus 3at upon 2 plus at minus as multiplied by sn dot sh whole square. The neutron spin now must be averaged over all possible polarizations of the incident beam, because we know that neutrons in the neutron beam can have a spin direction in any direction, and therefore there will always be an angle between the neutron spin and the proton spin in this case, and therefore expanding the scalar product in Cartesian coordinates or by solving Sn dot sh whole square and by taking its average value for the properties of Pauli's from the properties of Pauli's matrix average to 0. Further, we know that Sn square will be equal to Sn into Sn plus 1. This will give us 3 by 4, and Snx square average value equal to Sny square average value equal to Snz square average value will be equal to 1 by 4. Using these values, equation 8 becomes modulus of Sn dot sh average ka whole square, and this will give us the value half. Now using equation 7 and 9, we will get sigma ortho per molecule is equal to 4 pi multiplied by As plus 380 upon 2 ka whole square plus half multiplied by 80 minus As ka whole square. This is equation number 10. So we have obtained a scattering cross section for ortho hydrogen per molecule and for para hydrogen per molecule. Now using equation 6 and 10, we can write sigma ortho per molecule is equal to sigma para per molecule plus 2 pi into 80 minus As ka whole square. To prove Wigner hypothesis that the nuclear force is spin dependent, I think it is sufficient to show that the ortho hydrogen cross section is greater than the para hydrogen. In the experiment, the gaseous hydrogen target is enclosed in the tube at the temperature of liquid hydrogen. High energy neutrons were obtained by bombarding a beryllium target with neutrons from a cyclotron. These neutrons were slowed down in paraffin cooled to liquid air temperature. The range in neutron energies used for scattering varied from 10 degree to 30 degree Kelvin. According to experimental results, we found sigma para equal to 4 barns and sigma ortho equal to 125 barns. This great difference between these cross sections indicates that the NP force is strongly spin dependent. Again, we know that modulus of 380 plus As is very much smaller than modulus of 80 minus As. When As is less than 0, but very much larger when As is greater than 0. Since sigma para is less than sigma ortho, as we can observe from equation number 11, hence modulus of 380 plus As is smaller than modulus of 80 minus As, or As will be less than 0. This negative value of As indicates that the singlet state of neutron is virtual or unbound. We can solve equations 6 and 10 for AT and As. There are 4 possible pairs of AT and As values. 2 can be discarded because they have negative AT values which are not possible, and third pair can be shown to be inconsistent with the NP scattering data. The remaining solution is AT will be equal to 5.37 Fermi and As is equal to minus 23.73 Fermi. We know that total scattering cross section is sigma S is equal to 3 by 4 sigma T plus 1 by 4 sigma S, where sigma T and sigma S indicates triplet scattering cross section and singlet scattering cross section. And in terms of scattering length, sigma T and sigma S can be written as 4 pi AT square and 4 pi As square. And putting the values of AT and As in this equation, we can get sigma S is equal to 19.8 bar, which is in fair agreement with the experimental value of 20.36 bar. Thank you.